Yeah, so when I had the Kickstarter, we actually had a feature in the Boston Globe, which is the biggest newspaper in Massachusetts. So that was really nice. And REI reached out after seeing that article in the paper. So they reached out to me, the Fenway location, which was amazing. And I had to reread the email about 16 times because I couldn't believe that REI had reached out. So that was incredible. It was such an exciting day when I got to drop them off at REI and see them displayed in the store, and it was incredible. Um, and REI is this great program where they support small businesses. And typically in the front of their store, they have small business spotlights, and they're both around typically local businesses. So when I found out that, I started reaching out to the Cambridge REI and some other REIs that felt local within the state of Massachusetts, some in New England, and just called and said, I have this product. I'm really looking to fight the ocean plastic crisis. I think giving consumers the opportunity to do the same could really drive sales and excitement around the issue. So, how do you feel? And a good amount of them took me up on it. So, they're in multiple REIs around New England.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning, like you were very smart just reaching out to us. You had a really great pitch email. For anyone listening out there, please make sure when you're reaching out to any media outlet that you are giving them the story already, in a story form. So we know what you are pitching because you just did it so well. You're like, this is what I've done, this is why I did it, this is what the process has been like. I'm like, great. You told me the whole story in one, paragraph. I understand it. We can now talk about it. Because that's a powerful pitch email. Like that's really good.
Thank you. It's been quite a journey. We're on year 5 now. So I just left my job in fitness tech to go full time with it about 2 months ago. So now it's really ramping up, and yeah, it's been really exciting. So I have a co-branding order I'm doing for the Boston Symphony Orchestra. So that's my next project for this week.
Oh, how cool. How did that come about?
So I have you ever heard of the music venue Tanglewood by any chance in Massachusetts?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So it's right down the street from me, a really pretty renowned venue, and I didn't realize, but they are under the same ownership as the Boston Symphony Orchestra. So I went in to see if they would want dry umbrellas. I could have co-branded for Tanglewood. We have a green one. Green is their color. Seemed to make sense. But they're ending for the season, so they directed me to the buyer of the symphony orchestra who bought, and so I'm co-branding some blue ones for her.
Wow, that's so cool. And once again, it was because of your one-to-one outreach. The power of actually connecting with a person, people. People
I'm
listening
so
to
glad
this.
that it worked.
Yeah, people listening to the show out there, do not be afraid to connect with people one to one. It actually works. So, besides doing stuff like that with your one to one outreach, have you been utilizing things like social media to really get your message out there? Or really, how have you been able to start building that audience so people understand what you're doing and to support the product and where they can even buy it?
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot on Instagram. The Instagram account has been up for a few years now. Recently getting into TikTok, still trying to figure out how that really works, but that is what I'm seeing the most popular social media site. So trying to get into that, but also doing a lot of networking in the space as well. Everyone can connect you to a different person, and things expand from there, which has been great. So, really getting the word out through networking, through being part of those organizations, and social media driving the sales, and of course, developing an email list and things like that to make sure you're in regular communication with the customers.
Yeah, and when you're talking to the customers, because you have a lot of really important messaging in this, really, like we say, the whys, a lot of whys behind this. How do you balance between, talking about this really cool product that you want them to buy and then weaving in the whole story of why they should really support the brand because of this mission without it becoming too preachy? Because, sometimes we feel like we're a little inundated with the greenwashing and the sustainability messaging and it can really, I think take a lot of the buzz away from brands like yourself that are really doing something important. So how do you balance all that between I'm telling you this story, but I also want you to buy this product and this is why it's important to not only you but the world.
Yeah, I think it's definitely getting in front of the right audience. And I found when I tell the sustainability story first, like when I was reaching out to you, and I start with that, people like yourself and like other conscious consumers that makes them want to partake in the business and engage with it. So it's not necessarily a sales pitch to people who are in the environmental space. It's more you tell the story and that develops the intrigue in it, or at least that's what I've found. Um, for retailers and people who maybe aren't as passionate about consuming consciously and making eco-friendly purchases, it is a lot more leaning into the durability of it, the longevity of the product, why it's superior over other choices they could be making in the rain gear space. So it does depend on who you're kind of telling the story to, but I have found definitely for conscious consumers, you just tell the story, and from there you do get the buy-in a lot of time.
Yeah, and it is really, it's such a beautiful product. Like, I want everyone to go look at it. So, if you haven't already jumped over to the website, where can they find you guys online?
So our website is www.dri.earth. So we're dry umbrellas, and I have to tell you, it was really exciting to come up with the name, the DRI, spelling it that way instead of dry with a Y, because I wanted to do the a raindrop above the I. So we spelled it a little differently, but I always need to clarify that it's dry, DRI, and dot earth for the website.
Wow, that's so cool. I didn't even realize that, but I do love that very clever use of the raindrop over the eye. I love it for marketing, I love it for branding, and I love it just because it's cute as well. So, I'm a fan. I think they're just so beautiful to look at. Like I said, when you reached out to me, I immediately went to your website. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. This is an umbrella that I would totally use. And by the way, I will not be putting in a dry umbrella in my garden. First of all, I won't have to because it'll last longer. But secondly, I will use it when I travel, and then when I also have my 5 rain days. I say there's 5 rain days a year in LA, but we actually get a bit more. It just happens kind of all at once, and then we're done. So, with that said, thank you so much for being on the show and sharing your story. It was so fun to talk to you, Deirdre. I love it. I love your creative idea. I love where you came to it from. And I love to meet people like you that have just come up with these ideas, and you're like, I'll figure out how to do that, even though I have no background in power, marketing of packaged goods or whatever. So good for you, girl. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. I really appreciate you having me on, and I just love how you're spotlighting businesses that are doing work in the sustainability space and changing the world for the better. So I really appreciate you having me on.